So me and Martin and Emma are mostly working on it, and Martin too, over there. So one big question is why we're doing this. Why do we want to develop something that we already have? And once I've talked about that, I'm going to talk about the performance of the new solution, how the user will interact with it, how developers can customize that ViewClip solution to add custom functionality, and also how it's possible to convert the old legacy viewports to the new ViewClips. So the purpose of redoing all this is to improve the performance. We're entering like warehousing customers now, so the requirements for performance is increasing dramatically. So we need something that works even in very large scale projects. We also need to make it much easier to use. Now it's very limited what you can do with it. It's always a rectangle, you can't rotate it, etc. So we want to ease user experience, make it more PGC. We want to make it easy to customize the viewports. If you want to add some extra data or maybe alter the graphics, that should be easier for the developers to implement. And we also want to enable custom graphics. So if you want to highlight something or remove some stuff that's irrelevant, you shouldn't have to reinvent the entire viewport yourself. So, performance. How much faster are ViewClips? Well, to answer that, I'm going to talk about what we've done. So right now we're implementing Red for using for displaying the pay-per-view. It's currently using GDI, I think, which is much slower. And since both the 2D and 3D view are currently using Red, it feels like a natural step to implement it for pay-per-view too. We're going to implement something called shared graphics, which is that we have one single graph, which is in the 2D view. And when you show a viewport, you instead take the existing graphic and just applies transforms rather than copy it and then alter it, which improves performance. And we want to update the data reactively. So when you change something in model space, it might not affect a view clip. So then that view clip shouldn't have to redraw itself, of course. So I'm going to show a video. Here we have, I think this is the old, I can use it. This is the old viewport, and this is the new one. So here we go. No, that's the old one. That's the new one. Yeah. So now we're switching paper. This one to the right has already switched, and the GDI, the view. Oh, sorry. Can't I do it? Let's just try to use the mouse, I guess. So now we're switching paper on both. Here, we started switching here, but it's still working. And the X-Clip one is already done. But this one is still working. Working. And now it's starting to draw. So we can see that the X-Clip is much faster in redrawing the contents. So, how will our users interact with view clips? They will be able to rotate them, as you, sorry, wrong button. Here, rotate is supported. They can now use different shapes as well. So we have rounded rectangles, circles, etc. We will later on add support for custom, like define your own shape kind of thing. And we also now have an edit mode, so you can double click on a viewport and then you get the precise area in the 2D, so you can say exactly what you want to look at. And you can also look at different spaces now. You can, for instance, look at different alternatives in the same paper, or you can look at elevation views, which wasn't possible before. And if you have some custom space for some reason, it should be possible to make this view clip look at that space as well. So, how do we get the current functionality into view clips? For some viewports have like extra functionality. For instance, they want to display the scale down here, which is supported in the classic viewport. Some might, for instance, count the number of snappers in the viewports and display, or show how much the viewport would cost or something. For that kind of stuff, you can add companions, and companions show additional data on top of the view clip. So, for instance, you can add scale and stuff, or you can add some frame around it, or whatever you like. Just add a custom graphic. But some also want to alter the content. So maybe make one chair blue because that one is a very special chair, for instance. And then we add something called an editor. So editors are able to modify the content that they display. And that will be supported in ViewClip. So for conversions, how can we make our drawings use the new technology? Well, the good news is that if you have a regular viewport, you don't have to do anything. We have support for conversion from the classic viewport to the ViewClip built in. So you just have to right-click and then press convert, and it will turn into a ViewClip. But if you have a special viewport, there are some different approaches. Maybe you can take the added functionality and create a companion of it. Then you can simply add to the create companions from viewport and make that content be converted into a companion, and then it will apply itself on the new view clip automatically. Maybe you have some existing data, some variable or something. Then you can just use the copy configuration, and it will copy over the new data to the new view clip. But if you have some very specific, very intricate extra functionality, you can override create xclip from viewport and create xclip from viewport collapsed, where you can define whichever behavior you want. So that's how you convert it. Now let's show some hands-on. How does this work? How do I use it? So do we have VNC? No. Remote.
Oh no, yours. Yeah.
Oh, good, thanks. Here. Is it the short one?
Yeah.
Yep. So now we have this new card, which is for the view clips, and you have one called 2D and one called 2D empty. So the 2D empty, you just click it, and here you can choose if you want a rectangle, round the rectangle, or ellipse shape. And you can also choose which view you want to look at. For instance, here you would show the elevation view or the alternatives, etc. And then you simply just drag it out, and you get this thing that says double click to insert. This means that you have placed a viewport or view clip that does not yet have something to look at. So in order to give it some content, you just double click and you enter something called the edit mode. So now we're looking at the 2D view, and here you can place exactly which snappers you want to be contained in your view clip. So once you click it out, you get empty content in this case. So that's how you do it if you want to go the collapsed route. You can also do it directly by choosing the 2D up there. Then you drag it out, and you immediately enter the edit mode, and then you can apply where you want it. And then we have some props here called select, and this will display all attached companions. So if I, for instance, would apply a frame companion here, now this also has a frame. And now I can select here and select either the view clip or the frame. So if I select the view clip, I get the props for the view clip, and then I can change here and alter the specific companion which is attached. So for instance, set frame to none or something. So applying companion, rather straightforward. You just press one of these buttons, for instance this one. Then you get this animation, which snaps to the snapper, and then when you click it applies. And you can never apply more than one companion to a single view clip, or of one type, of course. Yeah, so once you have applied this, let's say we are here, and then we add a scarecrow, maybe. Come on. No. Oh. It died. I don't think it'll work now, because if I restart it, it won't use the red anymore.
You can try a quit.
Sorry?
You can try just to quit and see if it's possible. Oh.
Yeah, I tried Q. It didn't work.
No.
Okay.
But we don't have. No.
No. Okay.
So why would you start, when you start it back up, why won't it use the red system?
Because of this remote application.
Yeah.
It uses a specific graphics trick to show the content in good quality. And then I can't use the graphics card. So since red uses the graphics card, I won't be able to do it. So it doesn't know I have a graphics card attached now. So since I don't have VNC on this computer, I can't do it. Okay. Yeah, I'll just run down and restart, I guess. Okay, it seems to be working. It might crash and be wrong, but okay. So if you double click on the source now, you enter something called the edit mode. And now you're in 2D space and can move around as you like. And you can take the current source and, for instance, move it or stretch it and all that kind of stuff. So now you can more pinpoint the source you want to look at, rather than before with the viewport where you had to like drag the camera, scroll in and out and get it to be kind of good. Now you can really pinpoint and get it exactly the way you want. Okay. And then you can go back to paper and watch it. We also have default companions. When you select this, all applied view clips will have the companion attached to them automatically, so you don't have to press them out all the time. And also a default scale that it will use, so you get what you want, the scale you want by default. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So does anyone have some questions maybe?
Or feature requests.
Yeah.
Anything you want us to try and add in before releasing? Anything you can think of that you might have from your customers or end users?
Or any issues with the current viewport that you want to be fixed with this? Now's your chance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, then I guess that's it. Thanks for your attention.